Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Monique Smith, and if this is your first time here, I basically make videos about music, about singing, and makeup, and just being silly. That's what I do. I don't really take myself seriously, and I also want to let you know right out the gate, I am not a professional makeup artist. I am a makeup enthusiast, and I just enjoy it. I've always loved it since I was young, so that's why I make these videos, because it's fun. And I hope that I can continue to learn and you can learn something new as well. So let's go ahead and get started. On today's video, I am going to show you my new everyday, well, maybe not everyday, but my new makeup routine. One of the biggest things that I've learned was actually from Scott Barnes, who is Jennifer Lopez's makeup artist. And if you watch a lot of makeup videos, I'm sure you're familiar with Tati. And she did a video where she had Scott Barnes on with her, and he taught her all kinds of great tricks, things that I had never heard before. And honestly, it really changed how I did my makeup immensely, and it looks so much better now. So you'll notice, especially from my first video to this video, I think things are gonna look a lot better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the very first thing that I do always is I start with the moisturizer. And currently what I am actually trying, and so far I like, is by Laneige. I think that's how you say it. It's a moisture cream, and it's actually made in Korea. And I actually got this through an influencer package, and I've been using it for about a week. So far I like it a lot, so I went ahead and put that on before I started this video. And I like to wait a couple minutes with my moisturizer just so that it can really set into my skin. And then the next thing that I do is I use a primer. I've gone through a lot of different primers, and there are a couple that I really like, but right now what I'm using is Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer, and this is by Ciate. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Again, I'm sorry if I butchered these names. Ciate, London. It's a really great primer. I'm just going to put it all over my skin. And a little really goes a long way with this primer. It smells really nice. It really does smell like watermelon, but it's not overwhelming. And it just saturates your skin. It goes in really deep. I don't feel like I'm tugging at my skin when I'm putting it on. And it feels great. So I just wait a couple minutes after I put that on my skin. And then sometimes I like to kind of push it into my pores like this. Okay, so now that I've put on my primer, the next thing that I do is I start with my makeup routine. So the first product that I use is by Tarte, and it is Shape Tape Contour Concealer. And from what I've seen, this is a product that a lot of makeup artists love, and it's their go-to. And for me currently, this is my go-to right now. That could change, but right now I'm really liking this product. So what I usually do, just gonna get my mirror here. This is kind of the first step that I learned from Scott Barnes, which is putting on the concealer first. Usually I would put on my foundation and then I put on my concealer, and I see a lot of makeup artists and beauty gurus doing that, but for me I feel like I like to put on the primer first, especially after seeing what it looks like. So first I'm going to just go ahead and put it on my nose like this. I put a little bit on my forehead right here. I put a lot right here in the inner part of my eye, and a little on this side. Under my nose, down the chin, I put a little bit underneath my eyebrow, and that's pretty much where I start. I know I look crazy, but just trust me. So then what I do is, actually especially for my nose, because on my nose, my concealer tends to not last a long time. So currently I'm not using a brush for my nose in particular, I'm using a beauty blender. So I just used a beauty blender for my nose, a little bit on my forehead as well. And then I'm gonna take a Morphe Y6 brush and I'm just gonna use it to blend the rest. I'm actually still gonna use the blender underneath my eye too. Because I feel like for those really delicate areas of your skin, it's good to use the beauty blender because you just kind of blot it. It doesn't tug at your skin, and then it has a nice finish. And I do blot a little bit on my eyelid. I'm just kind of blending a little bit more. And if I feel like I need a little bit more, I'll go in and I'll add more. For the sake of this video, I guess I'll add a little bit more. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, and this is something I learned from Scott Barnes, I've never done this, is I'm going to use a Giorgio Armani number 13 brush. This is a foundation brush, I believe. That's at least what I got it with my foundation at the time. I'm going to use the Anastacia Beverly Hills Contour Cream Kit. To be honest with you, the only thing I really use from this kit is the darker contour. And I'm going to go ahead and go in the darkest color. This is the light cream kit. But I'm going to use the darkest color, and I put a little bit on the brush, and I kind of, well, I guess sometimes I put a little bit on my hand and dab it to blend, but okay, so I'm going to put a little bit on the brush. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start the contour. First I start with my cheeks. And this is a thing that I learned, is not to go up and down like this, but to actually create a curve along your cheek. So you're kind of creating the shape of your cheek. And we'll do the other side. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw from the top part of my ear down. I'm making my face kind of a little boxy at the top, and then I'm going to drag it down underneath my jawline. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to blend it in. But you do want to make sure to get it underneath your jawline, not on top. And then I'm just going to drag it underneath to my chin. And basically you're just kind of creating a shadow there to make your face look more slim. Then I'm going to go ahead and put some on top on my forehead, into my hairline like this. And I do put a little bit on the side of my face too. Okay, and lastly, and then I'm going to go in with actually this middle color here. And I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose. And I will use the back of my hand to kind of get off some of the product so it's not really crazy and heavy. And then I'm going to go down like this, starting from the bottom of my nose, going up to my eyebrow like this. Next I'm going to kind of blend it in a little bit with that same Morphe Y6 brush, especially at the top. I tend to get a lot of flyaways, so excuse my flyaways here. Okay, I've blended in the contour a little bit, and next I'm going to go in with my foundation. Currently, I am using the Maybelline New York Fit Me brand, and it's matte and poreless for normal to oily skin. And this color is True Beige, number 222. You don't need a lot, so I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm taking the same Y6 brush, and I just kind of blot it. I don't take all of it, I just take a little bit at a time, and I pretty much start on my cheeks and my jaw. Just blending it in. And I make sure to get my ears. It's also really important to get your neck, because you don't want your face to be darker than the rest of your neck. Okay, and something else that I learned, which is really awesome, which I had never heard of before ever, is putting contour on your lips to create your lip shape, to make a bigger lip shape. So I'm just using a synthetic brush. I'm going to take this contour cream color again, and I'm basically going to create the outline of my lip that I want. So now I have this outline, So now I have this outline. So now I have this outline with the contour, and then I'm going to kind of blend it out a little bit. Use a little bit of the foundation. I'm going to go on top of it a little bit. And you want it to be subtle, not crazy. You don't want to look like a chola, okay? So yeah, so that's it with the foundation. So currently I am using banana setting powder, and it's made by Bella Pierre Cosmetics. And I'm going to use a Morphe Y11 brush. Usually I'll take a little bit out of the container and kind of put it in the top. And I tap it off a little bit like that. And then I put a little bit underneath my eyes. Top of my eyelid. Put some over my forehead area, over the brow, and the mouth, and put a little bit on my nose too. Okay, and then after I do that, and you'll notice I don't really use a ton of setting powder. Some people like to bake. I kind of used to do that. I don't really like doing that so much with my skin because it's pretty much combination, but it's more on the dry side usually. So if I put a ton of powder on my face, it kind of looks gross. It just doesn't look very good at the end of the day. So yeah. So we did that. Then I'm gonna use a bronzer. And the brush I'm gonna use for the bronzer is, I'm going to use a Luxie 1010 small contour brush, and the bronzer that I'm using is by Sugar, and it's called Contour de Force Mini Bronzer in the color Woody Wonder. I dab a little of that, and I kind of put a little bit on my cheeks where the contour was, a little bit, just kind of going over my contour a little bit. My forehead, kind of bring it down, go up to the hairline, and then bring it down. A tiny bit on the side of my nose again. Kind of just another little sweep of color. And then the next thing that I do is the same brand by Sugar. I use the mini blush in the color Peach Peak. And the brush I'm going to use is by Me, and it looks like this. It doesn't have a number or anything, but it's great for blush. So usually when I put blush on, I kind of blot it on my cheeks. So I pat it down with the brush, and then I blot it on my cheeks like this. I don't like dragging it on my face, because then I feel like you're getting all the makeup, you're moving everything. You really want to try not to move everything around. You want everything to set nice. Here. Okay. And another blush that I really like, I just recently got in my Ipsy Glam bag. I'm sure all of you guys watching probably get Ipsy Glam bags every month. It's $10 a month and you get all this free stuff. Well, it's not free, you pay $10. Anywho, this new blush that I recently started using is by Phase Zero, and it's called Making Moves Blusher. And it's a really pretty kind of peachy color. It has a little bit of iridescence to it, and it's really pretty. So that's my other blush that I currently like to use. The next thing I'm going to do are my eyebrows. So I'm going to go ahead and go in a little bit closer, and we're going to do the eyes. Actually, no, just kidding. Before I do the eyes, I'm going to do my highlighter. The highlighter that I currently like to use a lot is by OFRA. OFRA is a great brand. Anywho, the color is called Rodeo Drive. And the brush that I use for highlighter is also by Morphe. It's the R36 brush. And I'll usually start right on top of my cheek here, or my eye. Oh, anyways. And then I'm gonna put a little bit up here, kind of wherever the light's naturally hitting. I put a little bit on the top of my nose and the tip on the Cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. And then depending on my shirt, like if you could see my clavicle, and then usually depending on the kind of shirt you're wearing, if it's a little lower, you can kind of highlight your clavicle down here, just kind of shine. But I'm not going to do that today. So the next thing I'm going to do now, this time for reels, is my eyebrows. And I'm going to zoom in the camera so you can really see what I'm doing. Oh, and the palette that I'm using is by e.l.f. e.l.f. is a pretty cheap brand as far as price-wise, but it's actually pretty good, like for what you're paying. I've been using the Shadow Brow and Liner palette for a while now, and I haven't had any complaints. There's no bleeding, it doesn't like wipe away or act weird if you sweat. And yeah, I just use the darkest color, and I use, sorry, I almost dropped it. And I use a eyebrow brush by, yeah, I can't read that. You know, just an eyebrow brush like this. And I just apply it to my eyebrows. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we've done my eyebrows. And next, what do we do? Okay, so we've done my eyebrows, and next we're going to do the eyeshadow. And don't ask me why, but I always start with this one particular color in the Soap & Glory The Perfect 10 palette. And it's called Nudecomer. And I like to start with that one as a transition color. Let's see, what brush am I going to use? What brush am I going to use? I'm actually using a old school Laura Lee brush. She's a makeup guru I used to watch all the time back in the day. So anyways, I'm gonna put this color on my lid first as a transition color, if you will. And basically, a transition color, from what I understand, is just to kind of set your eye, make it not so dewy, and kind of have something there so that colors you really want to place on next are not going to stick or blend weird. This is kind of just setting you up for success. That's basically what you're doing right now. Did that. Next, I tend to use the same palette over and over again. I like the palette by Morphe. It's the 15T palette, and it has a lot of brownish colors, so I like that. And I'm going to use a brush by Visanti. It's a contour eyeshadow brush. I really like this brush because it's very precise. You can kind of get it in the places you want to kind of like outline your lid, and then you can come in with the blending brush and blend it in and make it look pretty. But this is a really great brush to start with. So the color I'm going to use is called Woke Up Like This. Woke Up Like This with the D, dis. Anyways, I'm going to use that color. And I'm just kind of outlining the inner crease of my eye. And that's usually where I started. And then I'll usually kind of come in at the bottom to create more dimension. And basically with eyeshadow, the most important thing to remember is to blend. So as long as you're blending everything in good, you shouldn't look too shabby at the end. And again, I'm not an expert. I just really like watching other amazing makeup artists and makeup gurus on YouTube, and I just really enjoy makeup. So hopefully you're learning something from me. And if not, I apologize. Okay. The next color I'm going to use a different brush. by Luxie. It's a precision shader. I'm going to use Throwback. It's a more deeper brown color. I don't like that brush as much. I'm going to go back to my original brush by this on. And for this darker shade, I'm kind of just blotting it in, if you will. And I usually start at the edge, the outside edge of my eye. And then I started inside the crease, and then from here I'm kind of like dragging it out a little bit. And I'm blending it in. Not afraid to kind of go up high up to the bottom part of my eyebrow bone. And there's another brush that I really like. It's a blending brush. And it's by, who's it by? Pretty sure it's OFRA. Yeah, it's by OFRA. It's a 35E blending brush. This brush is incredible. It's such a great blending brush. And this isn't going to be a crazy like look. It's just going to be kind of a easy everyday type of look. Okay, and I pretty much blended in that throwback color, and then I put more underneath my eye on the edge. And then on top of my lid, I'm going to go ahead and use the color called Strike a Pose. And then the last color that I use is, I went back to the Silk and Glory palette and I used the Nudecomer color. And I'm kind of just putting it at the top of my lid like this. And I'm kind of brushing it out more to make a more finished look. With no hard edges. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do for my eyeshadow. And next we're going to do my mascara. So I'm not going to do eyeliner. I'm going to curl my eyelashes first, and I don't even know where I got this eyelash curler. It's nothing fancy. My eyelashes do not curl though. Not on their own anyways. And you definitely want to curl your eyelashes first before putting on your mascara, because if you do it after, you can break your eyelashes. So it causes a lot of breakage. And the mascara that I've been using for a while is by L'Oreal. It's Voluminous Lash Paradise. And I start from the very bottom, like the root of my eyelashes, all the way to the top. I put a little bit on the bottom. I'll do the same on the other eye. We're almost done, people. For some reason, I feel like my left eye has shorter eyelashes than the other. Do any of you guys have that same issue? I don't put a ton on the bottom, just a little bit. Just to kind of highlight them so you know they exist. And the last thing we're going to do are my lips. Exciting. Oh, actually, before I do my lips, I'm going to use my setting spray, actually. It's by Makeup Revolution London, and it's called Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. I'm just gonna wait here, and there's gonna be a weird silence. Just fan it, just for a second, until it's dry. I usually like to put on my fixing spray before I put on my lips, anything for my lips. So, the lip balm I like to use is by Bubble Tea Bath & Body, and it's a macaroon lip balm. It has essential oils in it. And I also got this in an Ipsy Glam bag. And this is lemongrass and green tea. So I like to use this just on the inside of my lips, just so that they're moisturized. And I also like to use this at night before I go to bed. So I'm going to use a lip liner by Makeup Forever, and it's in the color Wherever Walnut 606. It's a very nude looking color. And don't be afraid to go over your lip line. Just a little bit to kind of create a nicer shape. At least that's what I have to do. Some of y'all have been blessed. You don't need to do all that. I have a couple go-tos. So if I'm just doing a gloss, which I'm not going to do today, I really love the MAC lip gloss in the color Oh Baby. That's great. It's glittery, but it's kind of a neutral, natural looking color. I also like by Buxom. This color is called Claire. It's kind of a pinky glittery color, but it goes on, you know, like a gloss, so it's not going to be like a crazy pigment. I also like to put that on top of my lipstick. And I also love by Pixie by Petra is their lip glosses, and this is in the color Sheer Rose. I really love this color a lot, and I love this brand. They make some really great products. And then also by Smashbox, I really love their Always On liquid lipstick, and this particular color is called Babe Alert. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine some of them. I'm going to start with the Smashbox Babe Alert liquid lipstick, and then we'll use some of the Petra color, the Pixie by Petra. Alright, so my camera died before I could finish this, and so I had to charge it, and now we're back. We're back in business, people. Spit everywhere. It's great. Anyways, okay, so where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? Oh crap. Okay, so I just used the Smashbox liquid lipstick. Now I'm going to use the Pixie by Petra lip gloss, and I'm going to put that on top. I'm going to try to do this fast before my camera dies on me again. It kind of has like a minty smell to it. I'm going to add a little bit of the Buxom lip gloss on top. And that's it. And that's it. Aren't I beautiful? Okay, so that's the look. That's my everyday makeup routine for the most part when I actually have time to put makeup on, because let's be real, I have a toddler at home and I don't got no time to do nothing. I, by the grace of God, had time to create this video right now, so I'm just thankful for that. Alright, well, the last thing I wanted to share with you is I really love these makeup remover wipes. So if you're looking for something that's really good, by Honest Beauty, they have makeup removers. They come in a 30 count. These are awesome. They take everything off of your face. You feel clean, you feel fresh. They use great ingredients. It's dermatologist tested, it's hypoallergenic. So yeah, it's a great product, so I definitely recommend the Honest Beauty makeup remover wipes. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I hope you tune in for my next one. Make sure, if you haven't already, to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell so you can get all of my updated video notifications. And yeah, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, go ahead and take a look at those. And I'll see you real soon. Bye.